I don't know what that means, Samo. Murray. Okay, so let's see. So Bill Murray, the whole production of a film got shut down because Bill Murray had made some inappropriate jokes or inappropriate statements, and so Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, they both star, and Bill Murray starred in this movie, and it got shut down because of his statements. In the past, he said some rude shit to Lucy Liu on the, what was it, it had Drew Barrymore in it. It's the remake of a 70s show, Charlie's Angels. So on the set of Charlie's Angels, he's made some rude statements. He can be condescending. He's a comedian. I can only imagine. He's a fucking genius comedian, and I only can imagine the terrible things he can come up with to tell people and make them feel stupid. So let's get into this article because I'm very interested to see what the fuck he actually said, because I know this isn't music, guys. I know we're diverging or neurodiverging from the music stuff, but here we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, is he on an apology tour? Bill Murray gives first comments on inappropriate behavior complaint. It's been quite an education for me. Oh, God. Here we go. You're going to apologize, aren't you? Bill Murray has offered his statement on the suspension of production on Being Mortal, which Searchlight Pictures deemed necessary after investigating complaints of inappropriate behavior against the actor. Murray shared his comments during an interview on CNBC television at the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting in Omaha, Nebraska, on Saturday. Without going into detail about the dynamic between himself and aggrieved parties, Murray explained his perspective on the situation and its aftermath. I had a difference of opinion with a woman I'm working with. I did something I thought was funny, and it wasn't taken that way, Murray told CNBC. The movie studio wanted to do the right thing, so they wanted to check it all out and investigate it, so they stopped the production. Murray went on to explain that he has been in contact with the woman he offended, expressing hope that both of them could comfortably work together to continue the film's production. As of now, we are talking and we're trying to make peace with each other, Murray continued. We're both professionals. We like each other's work. We like each other, I think. If we can't get along and trust each other, there's no point in going further working together or making a movie. It's been quite an education for me. I've been doing not much else but thinking about her for the last week or two, I bet. When asked whether he had been in conversations with Searchlight Pictures about the complaint, Murray stated that he wasn't, not with the studio, just with her and the people that are helping her. First things first. I can respect that. I can respect that he's going straight to the source. Like, fuck the studio, fuck these corporate lawyers. I'm sorry, I love Bill Murray. Where the Buffalo roam, he gets a pass in my book, even if his N-word... He's smart enough not to use it. He gets a pass, huh? He gets the card. He's not in Kevin Spacey trouble. No, he's not. I feel like he probably said some rude shit and that person didn't like it, and egos flare. Maybe he said something rude, though. I don't know. Maybe he said something about her vagina. Who knows what the fuck he said? But the truth will come out. The truth will come out. Done for the day. I can sit down and watch the show. Oh. Thank you so much, Mighty Mighty, for joining us. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Mwah. On April 20th, on April 20th, Searchlight Pictures sent a letter to the Being Mortal cast and crew informing them filming had been suspended due to an unspecified complaint. Those sources at the time indicated the production halt was not COVID-19 related. It was ambiguous what caused the shutdown. That exact nature of the complaint against Murray remained unconfirmed. It is not clear whether Murray will continue to continue work on Being Mortal or if he will be replaced. The film had reportedly completed about half of its principal photography before production was suspended in mid-April. Being Mortal marks the feature film directorial debut of Aziz Ansari, who also stars in the film alongside of Seth Rogen and Murray. The project is an adaptation of Atul Gawande's 2014 nonfiction book, Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters in the End. Watch his full comment. We should have just went to the fucking video in the first place instead of hearing my neurodivergence as trying to read it. So let's just see what he has.
I've known you for a long time. You've known Warren for a long time. This is the first time you're actually coming to the meeting this time around. And those people at home didn't get to see the movie. You were in the movie. You guys did a skit at the end of the movie that I guess you filmed a couple of weeks here. I want to get into all of your thoughts on the meeting today, why you're here. But before we do, I'd just like to jump in. You've been in the headlines recently because of a movie you've been working on, Being Mortal. Production was shut down, and this is the first time you're talking. I just wonder what happened.
Well, there's a difference we had a difference of opinion. I had a difference of opinion with a woman I'm working with. I did something I thought was funny, and it wasn't taken that way. The company, the movie studio, wanted to do the right thing, so they wanted to check it all out, investigate it, and so they stopped the production. But as of now, we're talking and we're trying to make peace with each other. I think that's where the real issue is between our peace. We're both professionals. We like each other's work. We like each other, I think. And if we can't really get along and trust each other, there's no point in going further, working together or making a movie as well.
Right, moving judgment. So who knows what he said? What kind of shit that came spilling out of his mouth? Look at his face right now. This explains it all. He's just like, oh God, my mouth gets me in trouble again. Man, he kind of sounds like he's kind of fucked up in this. Doesn't he sound a little slurry? Like, no. He's also aging. He's an aging star. Bill Murray, and I agree with you, Sam. Bill Murray could say the rudest shit, and I would just be like, I love you, Bill. I love you. I love Bill Murray, but who knows what he said. And I feel like if it was something like super inappropriate that was sexual in nature, I feel like it would have been blown way the fuck up more than it already has been. Because the language behind the headlines, inappropriate comments, inappropriate behavior, it alludes to something, but but it alludes to something. I honestly just feel like he probably said something stupid and the actress got upset about it and egos flared and there it was. But yeah, it's funny. Comedians, they always push the limits, man. That's their job, is to push the boundaries so they know where the line is. So we all know where the line is, right?
It's been quite an education for me. I've been doing not much else but thinking about it.
His lawyer told him to say that
for the last week or two, and I feel like if I don't see that, you know, the world's different than it was when I was a little kid. You know, what I always thought was funny as a little kid isn't necessarily the same as what's funny now. Things change and the times change. So.
What if he said like the F slur or something? What if he was like, you better calm down, movie Dutchman. I love Bill Murray.
It's important for me to figure it out, and I think the most important thing is that it's best for the other person. I thought about it and I figured if it's not best for the other person, it doesn't matter what happens for me. And that gave me a great deal of comfort and relaxation, because your brain doesn't operate well when you're in the unknown, when you're thinking like, well, how could I misperceive? How could I be so inaccurate and so insensitive, when you think you're being sensitive to some sensibility that you've had for a long time? So we're talking about it. I think we're going to make peace with it. I'm very optimistic about that. You know, you have to be. And, you know, I think it's a sad dog that doesn't that can't learn anymore. I really think that's a really sad puppy that can't learn anymore. I don't want to be that sad dog, and I have no intention of it. What would make me the happiest would be to, put my boots on and for both of us to go back into work and be able to trust each other and work at the work that we've both spent a lot of time developing the skill of, and hopefully do something that's good for more than just the two of us, but for a whole crew of people, whole crew of movie makers and the movie studio as well.
So you're talking it through right now. You're talking it through with her. You're talking it through with the studio.
Well, not with the studio, just with her and people that are helping her. So that's first things first.
Yeah, that's good to hear. You said you were reflecting on some of the things that you heard today in the meeting, and I take it it's in relation to some of these things too?
I could not connect it. I could not connect it. I mean, I see these two brilliant fellas who are most proud in a way of their mistakes. They get, and it's always been that way.
For sure, Samo. Get your work done, sir.
You learn so much more from your mistakes than from your successes. And they say, like, oh, everybody's doing the good things, but the hard things and the wrong things are where you really learn something. And I was lucky to be with a bunch of other actors who were ahead of me in the pipeline, sort of, and I saw all the mistakes they made, and that helped me a great deal. And I know there's people that are behind me in the pipeline that are watching my mistakes going, okay, I'm not going to forget that one.
So it sounds like his old ass has a sense of humor that it's like when I was younger and I was in the mid 2000s or in the early 2000s, late 90s, and you could call somebody gay in a pejorative way. And you would say that to your friends, right? Like when you would call them gay or something like that. Now we all know that that's hurtful language and it's inappropriate to go around just calling people that just because you think they did something stupid. We have to grow and learn, and that's fine. I'm not, I don't use that word in that way anymore. Like I don't, or F-slur, calling your friends an F-slur. So like, I don't know if that's what he was saying, but I'm just saying, like, I can relate to where he's coming from. He's an old ass dude. He's seen so much. The world has changed so much since he was, started acting and started, being a comedic actor, a comedian. So much is now that what was acceptable is now no longer acceptable. And so I can see where he's coming from when he's saying, he probably made some outdated jokes. It's not Bill Cosby we're talking about. Jello definitely didn't stop making pudding pops to the fact that Bill Cosby was in jail. No, they did not. In fact, they made more pudding pops. So I don't know if he's still referring to this. It seems like he's moved on to a whole nother subject. I don't even know what they're talking about anymore. We'll see. We'll watch it a little bit more and see what's going
on. This idea of being able to trust people and really trying to have a long life. I think I feel like sometimes I feel like I've made a success of myself, but in the real moments I realize I don't know anything. I really don't know anything, and that there's so much more. Life is full of so many moments and so many emotions, and that you can't say, oh, that's mine. That's the one I'm going to go with all the way, because that just puts you in a box, and you will make no further progress. I feel like I've learned more in the last year or two than I may have learned in maybe a whole decade of my life before. Because I wasn't.
Really? Is that what you're finding? So let's see. Where did you see this? After reviewing the circumstances, it has been decided that production cannot continue at this time. Just